That Python Panda is one of the libraries of Python which offers us what tools to deal with these type of data analytics and data sciences, right? So Panda is a very good tool. The library contains many important data structures, such as what are the three data structures we have? We have series, we have uh, data frames, we have data panels, right? So these three data structures altogether, they combine, they constitute what is known as your uh, pandas library, right? So today what we are going to do is we are going to start with the data library panda with its one of its important data structure, the first data structure, that is series. So we will dive into details of what is series and how it is being created, how the series are being created, and how we can manipulate a series using different attributes, methods of that particular object, the series object. Okay. Now, last in class 11, you might have learned about library or module. The concept of module was taught to you. Basically, a module is what? It is a collection of different Python objects like functions, or it is what? It is collection of functions, objects, constants related to each other. They are related to each other, and that's why they are combined together. They are bundled together within a module. And so we keep them in a single module because of their closeness to each other, because of their working. They are closed in a single chamber, in a single module shaped thing, right? And these module needs to be imported while you are going to use them in your program. Similarly, when we talk about pandas, it's a module, it's important library, and that is in the shape of a module. So that module has to be installed first, because this is a third party module. It's not a module which is an inbuilt module of Python. As I've told you in the last class, that it is being made by a third party vendor, a person named as McKinney. Okay, he made this particular library. So you have to import this library separately. That means you have to install this library first in your machine, and then you have to go through the inner objects of this machine. You can use the objects of this module after you have got it installed in your machine. Now, how to get it installed? This is quite simple. You have to write one line of code and it will be installed in your machine. Just you have to go to the command prompt, assure that you have an installation, Python installation, a good working Python installation, and all the paths are set. We call it Python path. The Python path is okay. Then you just go to the CMD prompt and you have to type what this is going to give you. Let me share my screen. You have to write this command. To install Panda, you have to write this command: pip install Panda, right? So that is the command, pip install Panda. That command has to be written, right? So the command to install Panda library, it's quite simple. Just you have to write what? Pip install pandas. And if it is already installed in your machine, then it will show you that the latest version is being already installed in your machine. You don't have any other updated version of this particular module. Okay. Otherwise, your installation will start and the software will be getting installed into your computer. I hope you have installed this particular in your machine, because a lot of practicals are to be covered when we are going to learn this particular module, right? So practically you have to be sound along with the theoretical concepts. Okay, so
Yes,
that's
sir.
the,
I've already done.
yeah. So that assurance should be there that you have installed it. If not, if not, if not, then there is a way. There is a way of doing the pandas thing. Means you can still run pandas without installing in your machine. And what is that way? Can you guess? We used last year that particular piece of software, the online piece of software that we were using last year in class 11, and that was Colab, right? The Google Colab. In Google Colab, you can just go to the Google Colab, and you can run the Python programs, pandas program over there only. So it's a quite a good thing to run the code directly into the Google Colab without getting into the details of installing the pandas in your local machine. If it is not anyhow installed in your local machine, you can still go back to the Google Colab and start a notebook there. It's basically Google Colab is nothing but it is a Jupyter installation on the clouds, right? It is Jupyter installation on the cloud where you can run your Python programs, right? And the link is URL is colab.research.google.com. So going to this particular website, no, you can install, you can just get the first page of the home page of the Google Colab, and you can create a notebook there, and then you can just start using that Colab. Okay. So this is command to install Python libraries. So I hope these basic commands you have done in your computer. Now let us start with the thing that we are going to discuss today. Our objective is to get through the first of the data structures of Python Panda, and that is series. Okay, we will talk about series. So let us do it. So let me start with the board work. So Python series is one of the data structures which is much like NumPy arrays and lists, but in a way that every item in a Python series or every element in the Python series has got a label attached with it. So series. A panda series, we will call it panda because it is part of panda object, right? It is part of pandas object, so we will call it panda object. A panda series is a unidimensional data structure, or one-dimensional is one-dimensional data structure. Which collects data values of different types along with a data label, which is also known as index, associated with each such data value. Okay, now let us talk about what does it means. Let us discuss in detail what does it means. So you have a series which is capturing values of different types, data types, indexed, each value is being indexed with a data label. That data label is called as index also. sometimes we interconversely we use these two terms, data labels as well as index, for a particular, and it is associated with a particular data value in the series. So what is a series? A series is a simple collection of data values where each data values is being indexed with a data label. You can think this data series as a column of an Excel sheet. You might have used Excel, Microsoft Excel. In that Microsoft Excel, the first column itself can be thought of as a data series, where you know that in Excel every column has a heading associated with it, and every row has a heading associated with it, the row number and the column number, and the intersection of row number and column number is what is called a cell. So a cell is recognized, a cell is identified by the intersection of a particular row and particular column number. The columns are being marked as A, B, C, D, like that, and the rows are marked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. So if we are talking about the cornermost cell, then it is what? It is A1. That is A1. Okay. So similarly, if you take only one column of an Excel sheet, that represents a data series, a series, right? Where each such data series values, so we can visualize this as, we have this column where we got many values. This is a column of an Excel sheet, say suppose, and it has got, this is a single column actually, and it has got multiple values. Say for example, we have 15, we have Kamal, we have 24, we have 25.9, we have 16, we have hello, we can have true, like that. We can have multiple values, and each of these are associated, these values are being associated with labels associated with it. We can have a data labels associated with it, and this data label can be A, B, or it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. It can be like this, or by default, if you are not mentioning, them as separate label A, B, C, D, these labels can be named. These are called as labels, okay, or index, better known as index. If you are not giving any indexes like this A, B, C, D, E, F, you are not mentioning those indexes, then by default the index values or the label values are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it starts with 0 and goes up to n minus 1, where n is the total number of elements present in that series. So here, how many elements are there in the series? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 elements are there. So the last index is 7 minus 1, that is 6, starting with 0. But you can always define a separate name for these labels. Not alphabets, not only alphabets, you can separately name them actually. You can label things like this. You can have a series like this. You can have a series like this, where I am keeping values as populations. Say for example 125 crores, 35 crores, 110 crores, 30 crores, and then 88 crores. And then you can have labels associated with it, such as, for example, you can have labels associated with these values, data values in the series, and that can be the name of the country, India, then Japan, then China, then Malaysia, then this can be Uganda. I don't know Uganda is a country or not. I don't know. I do believe Uganda is a country. 120, and then we can have another big country, name it, just a big country, Bangladesh. It's a densely populated country, right? So you can have these labels associated with the values. So a data series is something like this, which has a collection of values, and associated with it there are data labels. I hope this is understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now let us go to the next thing, that is, after getting the concept of this data series, no, we are going to learn about creation of series. How to create a series. Creation of data series. How to create a data series. We can create a data series in different ways. There are different ways of creating data series. Few of the important ways we will learn here. But first you have to import the Python library, Panda libraries, right? Without importing pandas, you cannot create a data series. You have to install Panda, and then you have to import it. So once we are importing, we import Panda module in our program. We can create a data series object using following methods. There are multiple methods one can use to create a data series. Let us find out what are these methods. The very first one is your creating a series from scalar values. Now, what do you mean by scalar values? Scalar values are basically the quantitative values or constants. Rather, we call it constants, right? Like 24, 25, 36, 88. The values, the constant values, or basically literals. So using literals, Python literals, you can create a series, scalar series. So you can directly use them in a list, pack those scalar values into a list, and pass the list as parameter to the function which creates series. Okay. So what we have to do is we have to just create a scalar object, a scalar what I can say list, and pass that list to create a series. So let us see the syntax. What is the syntax for that? The syntax is quite simple. You have to write the name of the series. Sorry, series data name is equal to, and then you have to use a very important series object, pandas dot series. So pandas dot series, and then inside the pandas module there is a series object, right? And you have to pass parameter to this series object or series class. Actually it is implemented as a class and objects, so you are passing parameter to that class. Okay, here you have to pass parameter. The first parameter will be the list containing scalars, list of scalars. So you can pass a list of scalars over here. and that creates this is a basic thing. This is a basic way of creating Python Panda series. And after that you can have an advanced syntax for that. So this is very basic syntax using which you can create Panda series, right? But most often we don't use this word pandas a lot of time, because instead of using this pandas a lot of time, what we do is we give a alias name to this module while importing the module. As I've told you that you have to import the module, right? You have to first import the pandas module. So what you have to do is that after importing the pandas module, name it, give alias name. And how it is being done? By writing the statement as, by using the keyword as. So importing pandas as PD, and then use that word, that is small symbol for this whole thing, this whole pandas word, right? Instead of using this pandas word, you can use just PD dot series. Like that the code will be simpler and smaller. But anyway, you can write like this also. You can write like this also if you have not using any what alias name. If you're not using any alias name, you can write it like this. Now let us go for the next page. So let us see one example which uses this syntax to create Python Panda. Okay, creating a Panda series. So it's quite simple. You can just simply write as import. The first line will be import pandas as, and then you can give any name, P, PD. Most often we give PD. So PD, and then what you have to do? You just have to write here. They name the series as something. Say for example, I am naming it as S, small s, and then PD dot instead of pandas dot PD dot series. Now remember that this S is capital. The starting S is always capital. You should remember that. Do not use a small s. That will not execute. That will lead you to error, right? So you have to use a capital S over here. So PD dot series, and then you have to pass a list of values. Say for example, I'm passing 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. And that's it. It will run. This code will run. Now you have to print this series, no? Before these values are being displayed as series, you must print this S. So you have to write print S. Okay. So in this way we can create a Panda series, and we can just import it, and we can just print it like this. Now let us run the code. Let us execute the code on idle. Since I have installed pandas in my idle, I will just use idle and do it. But anyway, you can use it Colab, and also you can use Colab to run the code. So let us just type the code itself here. Import in the interactive command prompt only. I am writing the code. Import pandas as PD. If the panda exists in your computer, then no error will be given. Otherwise, error will come. No such module like that, error will come. So import pandas as PD, and after that, what I am going to do is I am just trying to write S is equal to PD dot series, and here I am going to pass. Now you see here, this IntelliSense box has come, and it is saying it is informing you what thing needs to be passed and how many parameters it accepts. The first parameter is data, the data which you want to keep in the series. The next parameter is index. That means the labels you want to attach with data. And the second parameter is data type. You can, by default it is none. By default, everything is none or false, right? So what I'm going to do, remember that your data is also having a default value none. That means you may or may not pass a data also. That we'll just have a discussion on that later on. So I'm going to just type 10, 20, 30, 40, and then close it. Now let us print it. Print S. Can you see the output? Is this output
Yes,
the same?
sir.
Is this output the same as that of what we have drawn a little bit earlier? This output is same as that we drawn a little bit earlier, right? So the same type of output is coming of data values along with indexes on the left side. Now there is a word here which is very important to just notice. D type is equal to int 64. That I have not written there, right? D type is equal to int 64. What does this means? D type is equal to int 64.
Data type is integer.
Yeah, integer 64, and this 64 signifies that it is of 2 bytes. The integer size here in the pandas is 2 bytes. 2 bytes. The length of the size of the integer is 2 bytes. That means any integer which will be accommodated will take exactly 2 bytes of memory. It will occupy 2 bytes of memory, right? And that is what 2 bytes means 32 bit. 2 bytes. No, it's not 2 byte. Actually, 8 bit is equal to 1 byte. That means how many bits? Bytes. 8 is 64. That means 8 bytes.
8 bytes.
8 bytes. Sorry. So it is 8 bytes, right? So it is 8 bytes of memory which every integer value will take. Now let us do an experiment, a small experiment over here. Let us just change one of the integers into something else. Let us not take homogeneous values. What we have done here is that we have taken homogeneous values 10, 20, 30, 40, right? Isn't it? Let us not take homogeneous values. These homogeneous values are there in NumPy. NumPy always takes a homogeneous amount of values, right? Whatever values you want to keep into a NumPy array, that must be always an integer. If the first one is integer, if the first one is a string, then always all the things must be a string, right? So like that. But here in the case of series, you need not pass always homogeneous values. You can pass heterogeneous values also. The series supports that. Let us pass it. Let us pass it and see what happens. D is equal to pd dot series Kamal, and then 10, and then 90.78, then 77, and then 23. Can you tell what will be the output if I am going to press enter? Yes, of course, the values will come. Kamal 10, 90, 78, 77, all that will come with indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But what will be the value of D type if I am going to execute this code? What will be the value of D type? Just take a minute.
Maybe it will convert every single of them into a string, and D type will come into object. Come as object.
Object or string? If everything is converted into string, then it should be str.
No, the data type here will be given as object, I guess.
Okay, let us print D and see what comes. Yes, it's object. It's object, right? Now this is very interesting. It seems interesting that when pandas is the pandas series is a very interesting and flexible data structure, right? It offers homogeneity as well as heterogeneity, right? So if all the elements inside that series is of same data type, the whole series gets the data type as integer, right? But if any one of them is of separate data type, it's of different data type, then the whole series is converted into object. Now this is very important here to understand what is object. Object represents all data type. We can say that An object is a abstraction of all data type. It's an abstraction of all data type. Means any data type can be accommodated as an object. Any data type can be accommodated as an object. So it represents an abstraction of all objects. It represents a generic form of all data types, right? So it's a generic data type. So that's why it is called object, right? So I hope this is understood. So keep remembering these things, because these are the small things, and then it can be asked in your exam or viva. Okay. Now let us come to the next thing, that is creating a series with indexes. Creating series with indexes. Let us find out how to do that. So the next thing that we are going to learn is passing index parameter. Passing index parameter. I hope board is visible. Passing index parameter. So we have seen that the series function, the series method, sorry, it's an important method. The series method itself contains many parameters, right? The first parameter being the data, and the second parameter being index, right? Now what does this index is? This index is the label name attached with each value. By default it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. The label name by default is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As we have seen that the output will come here as, the output will be something like this one, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we will have 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and then the D type will be int 64, right? Int 64. So now we are going to learn about how to rename these index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to give a separate name for them. How to do that? By passing a separate index parameter along with the data parameter. The first parameter is the data parameter or a list of data. The second can be an index or list of indexes, index names, right? So what we can do is to pass index names, indexes, that is label names, for each data values. We can use following syntax. So this is the syntax. Here is the syntax. S is equal to PD dot, provided that we have imported Python pandas as PD, right? So PD dot series, and then we can what? We can pass lists like this, 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and then after placing a comma, the second parameter can be passed with its name, and this is what is called as named parameter. This is what is called as named parameter. We call it as named parameter in functions, right? In Python functions, these are called named parameter. So you can pass a name value pair. So name is index, and the value here you can keep any names of those index apart from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose you want to start your index not from 0, you want your index to be starting from, say for example 100, and then 200, then 300, then you can write like 100, 200, 300, and then you can have 400 and 500. Now can you tell me what output it will generate if it is executed? If I am going to write print s, what value will be generated? What output will be generated?
100, 200, 300, 400 in the place of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 as indexes, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 as the values, and
Okay.
D type int 64.
Okay. Good. So this is what we will get, right? Okay. So that makes the whole series, right? So you can always name your series. Now your question can be that, sir, can we pass string names in place of these integers 100, 20, 200, 300, 400, or 500? Yes, we can pass strings also. You can name those labels. You can name those labels as A, B, C, D, like that also. No problem. So you can have a string name also. So we can always have a syntax like this too, where we can just write s is equal to pd dot series, and then you can have values as a scalar 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then you can have index equal to A, B, C, D as a string, or you can have longer strings also, no problem. D and E. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So the output will be similar, but here in place of 100, 200, it will be A, B, C, D, and E, and then there will be 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And the D type again will be, what is integer? 64, right? So this is what it will give the output. The output will seems like this. This will be the output. Okay, we are in blue, we are writing output. So this is output, right? So I hope this is understood. There is no difficulty in this at all, I think. So you can have your series labels named anyway. You can name them in different forms. You can name it as a string. You can name it as integer values or float values, whatever you like, you can. Okay. Now let us come to the next thing. That is, this was the first way of creating the series by using scalar values. Now we can create series using what is known as NumPy arrays. So in 11, in syllabus of 11, there was NumPy array, which CBSE has removed last year. For the last session, it was being removed. But anyhow, NumPy is also an important library. I've told you about that in previous class. It's a mathematical library where we have bunch of functions and objects related to the manipulation of arrays, single dimension and n dimensional arrays, right? So you can pass those objects, those NumPy objects, to the series to create a Panda series. So you can turn over a NumPy array into a Panda series, so that there is a conversion of NumPy arrays into Panda series, right? Now let us find out what does it means. What does it means? So we will create now series with NumPy array. NumPy array. So let me just go to the next page. Creating series using NumPy array. So here what we have to do, we can create series from NumPy array, provided we have created a NumPy array first, right? So we can create a NumPy array and pass it to the series function to the series method actually. Series method to have a panda series. Panda series created with values within NumPy array. Now NumPy itself has a very tremendous useful functions inside it. Okay, so what I will give you, I will show you here is just a bit of that. NumPy has in itself a good variety, a good bunch of functions, useful functions. For example, one of such function is that you can create a array of values between two integers. Say for example, you want to produce a array of values of 10,000 values between 1 and 2. You can do that using NumPy array. If you want to create 1000 numbers between 1 and 2, the values 1 and 2, the integer values 1 and 2, you can do that using NumPy array. There is a function. There is a method inside NumPy array which is dedicated to generate such a value. Okay, so you can create always an array using those NumPy. You can create a unit matrix. You can create a zero matrix, say for example null matrix, or you can create an identity matrix. Matrices, you know, I think there's a two-dimensional array. So you can create those matrices using NumPy array too. So NumPy is a very, very useful tool in data science, right? So one must learn it separately apart from the pandas. But since our concern is now to learn pandas, we will not dive into the details of the NumPy functions, but we will see one or two of them here, right? So let us just create one. The syntax is you can just have a NumPy array like NumPy. So first you have to import NumPy, because without importing you cannot use it. So we are going to import NumPy. Again, you can install this NumPy module by using pip install NumPy writing. But sometimes it happens that when you are installing pandas, no, NumPy always gets installed with pandas. So you don't have to install NumPy separately. So if you are installing pandas, NumPy is there. Okay. But if you have installed NumPy anyway, no problem, no issue. So import NumPy as, I will give an alias name. More probably we give alias name as NP, and then import pandas as PD. So we have these two things. NP and PD. Now what to do? Next, we have to create a NumPy array using the NP object, right? NP module. So we have to create it. So we will create a array. Say A is equal to NP dot, and there is a function in NumPy which creates a unidimensional array or one-dimensional array, and that function is array function itself. ARRAY, array. The array function itself, right? Array function itself, it creates a NumPy array. The word is array. So we will have an array function over here, and what we will pass here, we will pass a list, a simple Python list. A Python list is a very basic Python list, no? We have very basic data structure in Python, so always we use that, and it is heterogeneous, right? It's not, list is a heterogeneous object, right? So you can pass anything. But here, while you are going to create a NumPy array, you must remember that a NumPy array never accepts heterogeneous values. There is a restriction in array. An array must be of same type, because it is needed in the mathematical calculation that all values must be numeric, or must be something which is where we can we can apply an aggregate operation, so that one of the values does not excludes that particular operation. So it is needed that all the values must be of same type. So that's why NumPy never accepts a heterogeneous value. So you have to pass, though you are passing a list, you have to pass a homogeneous amount of values, right? So let us create it as say for example, let us pass what is something like 1 2 3 4 or something like that. So 1 2 3 4. So this creates an array A, and now what you can do is you can create a series S, and you can write pd dot series S capital, keeping S capital, and you can pass here A. Instead of passing a list, you can pass this array, and then you can have your index. You can pass an index as equal to, say, first, second, third. You can have indexes like this, isn't it? And then fourth. So like that you can pass indexes and you close it. So it will create an array, and then you can print it as usual. So let us do it. Let us run this code. Let us run this code and see what it gives, what this gives us. Yeah. So let us go to run this code in idle. So here it is. Import NumPy as NP. Import pandas as PD, and then you can write array A is equal to numpy dot array, and here you can pass list of values, and then you can just close it out. Sorry, you have renamed as NP, so you have to write A equal to numpy. Instead of numpy, you should write NP dot array, and then you have to pass 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, and then you can have this thing, and then after that you can create a series pd dot series, and here you pass A, and you can pass index equal to first, second, third, fourth, okay, like that, and then you can just close it, and now you can print this S. Can you see what is the output? So this is what the output looks like. It gives first, second, third, fourth, and then 1 2 3 4, like this it is giving 1 2 3 4, and int 64, right? So this is what is a NumPy series made up of NumPy, the Panda series made up of NumPy array, right? So in this way you can apply other functions available in NumPy module? There are many functions like we have ones, zeros, right? Ones, zeros, and then we can slice also. We can slice those arrays also in NumPy, right? So all those functions can be applied to create different types of NumPy array, and you can just pass them to a series function to get a panda series. So this is the way you create a NumPy array based series. Now let us move on to the next thing. That is, I hope this is understood. So the output here is something like 1, 2, 3, 4, and here we have first, second, third, and fourth, and then here D type is an integer, right? So this is creation of NumPy panda series with NumPy array. Now let us move on to the next thing, that is creation of series with from dictionaries के साथ create करेंगे. So we are now going to learn about how to create series using dictionaries. So, but before going to that particular thing, I want to ask you a question, that what will happen, what would have happened if I have not written this fourth in place here, this fourth. If I would have given the code like this, say for example, if I am going to write this code, what will happen? Will the code execute or will there be any error? You just tell me. If I am going
There
to
should
write,
be an error.
if I am going to write here this one, say for example, s is equal to pd dot series, and then a passing a, if I am writing index is equal to, and I'm passing here first, second, and just the last one as third. Okay, what would have happened?
There should be an error.
Error,
Error will
right,
be raised.
right. Why the error will come?
The number of indexes and the number of values do not match.
Oh,
There is one extra value.
extra value, and that is why there is a value error. Value error will come. Value error as number of indexes mismatches with number of values in the NumPy object. NumPy object A. So A doesn't have the same number of values as that of the indexes being mentioned. So there is a mismatch, and hence the value error will be generated. So you must remember that whenever you are going to pass index by yourself, the same number of index must be passed as there are values, right? The same number of indexes must be passed. Okay, otherwise this type of error will come. So one has to be very sure that must pass same number of values as there are same number of indexes, right? So be aware of this particular thing. Now let us go to the next thing, that is creating series with dictionaries. We can always pass a dictionary to a series and create it. So let us find out what does that means. So the next method of creating a panda series is creating series using dictionaries. Now, as the word about dictionary came here, so we must acknowledge first what is a dictionary. Dictionary is what? I hope you remember. Are you remembering? What is a dictionary? A dictionary is a Python data object which keeps an unordered collection of key value pairs enclosed within which bracket? Within third bracket, curly braces, right? So this was the dictionary as we have learned in class 11. Now let us create a Python series using a dictionary, and this is very important. This is very important. Actually, it is very important because we will use a lot of this syntax in the coming days, right? When we are going to learn higher programming related to Python series and pandas series and pandas data frames, right? So this is very important to understand here at this point of time, right? So let us understand it. What does it means? So first we can do, so we can always create a Python dictionary and pass it to the series method to create a panda series. So let us do it. How? Let us do it. The syntax for that, the program is program example. We can just create import pandas as PD, and then what we can do, we can just write here, we can create a dictionary such as, for example, this one, D is equal to Kamal colon CS comma Sandeep colon chemistry comma Uma colon physics comma then colon maths, and then we can just pass it as S is equal to PD dot series sorry, we can just pass this D as parameter as a data object, and then we can just, and if we leave the index for now, say for example, if I'm not going to give any index, then what would be generated? Let us find out what the things will be generated if I'm not going to pass any index to this particular thing. Let us find out. So I will just what I will do, I will just simply just delete this thing and pass this D. this dictionary D to create a series and then print this series S. Can you guess what output will come?
Yes, sir. Kamal, Sandeep, Uma, and Suranjana as the indexes, and CS, chemistry, physics, and maths as the values.
Okay, so that means you are telling that, sir, this will come like this, that the keys will be treated as, the keys of the dictionary will be treated as indexes or labels, and the values will be treated as, the values will be treated as uh, the data values of the series, right? Why not the reverse? Why not the reverse? That means the values will be treated as indexes, and the keys will be treated as data values of the series. Why not the reverse one? Why aren't you considering the reverse thing? What is the reason? What is the logic behind that? My question is that why don't you take CS, chemistry, physics, and maths as indexes? Why can't you take that? This we will see in a moment, because when we are going to access the data values using indexes, when we are going to access the data values using indexes, we would know the reason why it is not considered, why the values are not considered to be the indexes of the data series, Python series, right? So let us first find out what will be the output, and we will deal with that in a moment, right? Coming moment, we will be understanding that point. So what you said is that, here, sir, this one will come, Kamal, and then Sandeep, and then Uma, and then Suranjana will be coming as indexes, and the values will be CS and chemistry and physics and maths. And what will be the D type? D type will be object, isn't it? It will be an object. So like that, the things will come up. So let us find out, let us run this code and see whether the same thing comes up or not. So let us create a dictionary first. D is equal to, and we will write the same thing here, Kamal colon, key value pairs should be passed. I am passing the names of the teachers along with the names of the subject they teach. We have a lot of ladies teacher over here in our school, so major subjects are being taught by them. Okay. So here it is. Now let us go for the next thing. Let us print this dictionary and see what comes. Okay, so this will give you the dictionaries as key value pairs, right? It is okay. Now let us pass this dictionary to create a series. S is equal to pd dot series. We need not import pd, or we need not write that statement import pandas as pd, because we have already imported once that in the interactive mode, right? So no need to import again and again here, but in separate programs you need to write, in your test papers you need to write this particular line, because it carries marks. Every line written in your exam will carry 1/2 marks or 1 marks. Okay, so everything is to be written in the paper. So pd dot series, and then here I am passing d. Now let us print this S and see what happens, what comes. So exactly whatever you interpreted, that is true. This is coming as Kamal CS, Sandeep chemistry, Uma physics, and Suranjana maths, right? And the D type is object. Though there is nothing, no double quotes over here, what I have given in the board, right? So that has to be considered. Now let us move to the next thing, the next topic. I think this is okay. This is nothing worrisome to you. I think you have understood this. Now let us move on to the accessing elements of a series. How to access elements in the series? Let us find out. Accessing elements, because once you have created a series, you need to manipulate that series values. The data values inside the series must be used. Once you have created a series, isn't it? Once you have created a series, you must use the data values which are there in the series. Are you getting me? Once you are created a series, you must use the data values which are kept inside that particular series, right? But how do you use a value inside a series if those values are not accessible? So one has to access those values. One needs to access those values. How to access those values? How to access the values within a series? Can you tell me? How to access the values within a series? Is there any method to access
by
values?
giving their
Yeah.
by
Go on.
giving their indexes.
Right.
And
Suppose, yeah. Suppose if we want to access the third value or the fourth one, instead of accessing sequentially from top to bottom, if I'm going to get the third element of the series, then one should get access to the location of that third value. And the location of that third value in the whole series is being designated by its label. The label designates such thing. Okay, so the label of the series designates such a thing. So label is very important, the index is very important as far as we are considering to access the elements within the series. Okay, so accessing the elements within a series needs to use its label. So by uniquely access the elements or the values or data values of the series, one must use unique label names. One must use what? Unique label name. If the label names are ambiguous, if the indexes, if the two data values will have same index, what will happen? There will be ambiguity, there will be a confusion, and that's why I was asking you then that why dictionary in dictionaries the keys are being taken as labels. Why not the values? Because the keys are always in a dictionary. The keys are always what? They are always unique. They cannot be repetitive. There cannot be repetitive keys inside a dictionary. If you insert a duplicate key inside a dictionary, what would happen? What will happen if you are going to put a duplicate key inside dictionary? Suppose I want to insert one more Kamal inside this dictionary with a subject, say geography. What will happen? Whether two versions of Kamal will be there in the dictionary or one only?
one only, because there can't be two indexes with the same name. There
Yeah,
can't be two
in dictionaries, yeah, in dictionaries there cannot be two keys. The key value pair is an one-to-one mapping, is a one-to-one mapping. Just like we have in set and relations and theory in mathematics, right? One-to-one map. So there is one key mapped with one value. So no two keys will have the same name. Always the keys are unique. So whenever you are going to insert a key with the same name, it will replace the value of the existing key with the same name. So no two Kamals can be there inside this particular given dictionary. Okay. So that is why the reason is we are considering the keys as indexes of the series when we are passing dictionary to the series for the creation of series. Okay, I hope this is understood. Now let us go to the main point that we are going to discuss, that is how to access keys, how to access the values, data values inside series. Okay, So let us access the data values within the series using indexes, right? So let me just switch on to the board. So our next topic is accessing data values within a series to access a particular data value within a series. We must take help of the index name or the label name associated with that value, associated with that particular value. So let us see how to do that. Index name. So now these indexes has to be used in two ways. The indexes of the series can be used in two different ways. Ways to access elements of series, such as, what are these two ways? There are two ways using which there are two ways of using the indexes to access the values. What are these two ways? The two ways are what are these two ways? The two ways are, number one, A is indexing. The first way is indexing to get a single value, out of series, right? This is the first way, indexing. And the second way is slicing, right? The second way is slicing to get a range of values out of a given series. That means what? You can access a range of values between two indexes by slicing. By making use of slicing, you can access multiple values, data values within a series, by mentioning the range from where you want to access those values up to the value you want to access. So by specifying the range of the indexes, you can access multiple data values of the series. So let us find out what does it means. Let us find out. The first one is indexing. Let us talk about indexing first. Indexing is used to access elements. Indexing is used to access elements based on its indexes, index name in the series, right? Index name in the series. Now याद रखना, there are two types of indexes. In a Panda series, there are two types of indexes: positional indexes and labeled indexes. As we have seen, positional indexes takes integer value that corresponds to the position of the value in the series starting from 0, isn't it? The positional index. And the labeled index is somewhat which is user defined index that we have defined. There is a positional index, there is a labeled index. You can use both of them. Even if you have given labeled index, you can still use positional index. So you can have a positional index as well as labeled index. So remember that indexes are of two types. One is called as positional and another one is called as labeled. Positional indexes are nothing but 0, 1, 2, 3, dot, 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 up to n minus 1. Whereas labeled are user defined. Labels attached as indexes. So these are the two things that one has to remember while using indexing technique. Now we can always use any of the above types indexing to access series elements. I think you have understood that we have also labeled those indexes as names. No, just I have done that population with the label name as the country name, right? India, Pakistan, like that. So that was user defined labels. And then I have told you that if you are not giving any indexes, by default it is positional starting from 0. So you can have a positional index by default. Even if you have labeled index, you can still use positional. That I have told just before. So let us try out those two things. Using those two types of indexes, we will now try to access the elements inside a series. So let me write a code for you, and you can just tell me what would be the output of this particular thing. So we have this one, say for example, yeah, say for example I have import pandas as PD, and then I am writing here s is equal to PD dot series, and here I am passing 100, 102, 105, and then here I am passing index equal to March, July, September, and then I am writing print s. I hope you have understood what the output will be. But what if, going to the second page, what if I am writing in the next page? Just consider this page. We have created a series with values 100, 102, 105 with indexes March, July and September. Now what if I'm going to the next page and writing print S? What will be the output? If I'm going to write print S at and then I'm writing here S at 0. What if I am writing here print S at September? Can you tell what will be the output?
For S, the whole series will be printed like March, September, and can you give me the last page so that I
Yeah,
can see
100,
where the values?
102, 105. So March, July and September. So this will give you this one. This will give what? S at 0.
Error maybe because 0 was not a labeled index. We had changed the index into March, July, and
Okay, let us see that. And according to you, this will give S at September will give 105. It will give, yeah, 105. 105. Let us see what happens if I'm going to write the code. Let us see what happens if I'm going to write the code. Please pay attention and let us write the code. Import pandas as PD, and then I'm writing here import, or say rather S is equal to PD dot series, and here I'm passing 100, 102 and 105, and then I'm passing here July or April. July. Sorry. And then I'm printing print S at 0. So here it is, what I have told you. Listen, I told you that even if you are labeling the indexes, labeling the data values, sorry, even if you have labeled indexes, there are two types of indexes. I have told you, positional indexes, labeled index. Even if you are having labeled index, as that is available in this case, in this code, right? April, July and September. Even if you have labeled index, you can still use their default indexes as 0, 1, 2, 3, because they are sitting behind. They are not being replaced by the label index. Remember, they are sitting behind. So you can still use the default indexes starting from 0. Okay, so that is not deleted anywhere. It is just that you are giving an alias name. Actually, internally, what the Panda does, it creates an alias name as labels of those indexes. That's it. So they are not never they are deleted. Those indexes are in their places itself. So print, and then if you are writing S at April, that too will give 100. That 2 will also give 100. So this is the way we are accessing elements of a series using their indexes or labeled indexes, positional indexes or labeled indexes. Now, what is the benefit of having labeled indexes and positional indexes? Why these two? You can argue that why there is a need of these two types of indexing, sir. We can have a simple numeric indexes. Why there is a need of labeled indexes? And you can argue that if there is labeled, if there is an opportunity of having numeric indexes, that is positional indexes, why there is a need of labeling them? So they remember these two separate things. These are two separate things, and they offer two separate convenience to the code. They provide two different levels of convenience to the code, right? For example, can you tell me that? Can you answer that question? Why there is a need of these two types of indexing? Why not one? Okay, let me tell you that the first index, that is the numeric index, no, when we talk about positional indexes, you can always make use of loops. We can always make use of loops when we are using positional index, isn't it? You can iterate your loop within the range of values 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, n minus 1, and you can get each of these values, series values, one by one by using their indexes, numeric values of indexes or positional indexes. But that cannot be done with the labeled index, because labeled cannot be iterated like that. Of course, you can iterate it in Python without using range function. There is a method in Python you can iterate it. But think about a situation where we have numeric values between a range of values which we want to iterate. Then this particular indexing technique is convenient for us to deal with in the code. But in case of label, if we consider the labeled index, it offers a different degree of convenience. What? It provides a user a visibility that, okay, this value is being associated with this caption. So it is more presentable. It is more presentable in certain situation, right? It is more presentable in certain situation where there is a data value associated with a particular caption. The caption itself explains that, okay, this particular data belongs to this particular caption or this particular entity. So that's why the labeling is very much important. Okay, the labeling of the values are important in case of series, Panda series, because it provides a user a convenience of getting the values presented in a decent manner, right? So that's what is the point. Okay, I hope this is understood. So these 2 points are very important as we are considering the positional indexes and this one, that is labeled indexes. Okay, so these both the method can be conversely used to print the values inside series. Now let us see that code which I was talking about. Means you can use a for loop. You can always use a for loop for I in 0 to in range 0 to n minus 1, that is length of. You can apply a length function. No, you learned in class 11 there is a function called len. You can apply on s. So values, so you can just have these values like this and you can print it. So it is 0, 1, it goes up to 0 and 1. So that's why those two values are being printed, because range already eliminates one single value, last value, right? So that's why this ln length of s minus 1 need not be given if you want to print all the values up to 105. Okay, now you can simply write like this also for the label in index. We have s dot index. and here we can just print S at label and see what happens. So this can also be done. So we will talk about this. Is for the time being what we have discussed. We can create a series, we can access the elements of the data values elements of a series using its index as well as its labels. So labeled index can also be used, or you can also use what is known as your positional index, and positional index always remains there with this labeled index. Okay, so that's for today. In this particular session of series, we will continue with the series session next day, and we will lot of other things about other about this particular topic. This okay. So, so I will give some questions. Okay. So I will some examples which you do and to what. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, sir.